presenting Emilio, the Honey Badger Urrutia.
I'm JP Mestanza. Now here's the news you need to know.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. The Honey Badger Hour, episode Some Sip Some, episode 33. We're coming at you live with a new format. Part Deuce. Enrico Cocco is joining us back for the second time because we got cut off. JP Mestanza is in the house. What's going on, everybody? Honey Badger Hour, we're back.
What's up, everybody?
Yeah. What's up? We ready?
This is fun.
Yo,
this
Coach,
fun.
how's it going, man? We got cut off last time, bro. It's so crazy. So it's been a little while since we spoke.
I grew some facial hair, you know, feeling stronger, feeling good.
I feel like so much time has passed.
I know.
Yo, you grew some facial hair and I took mine off. You know what I'm saying? But November was over, dog, so I had to cut it already.
Yeah. It's a holiday mustache. Gotta keep it going.
Yeah, there you go. So you had it going for Thanksgiving, huh? You had the nice stash for Thanksgiving?
It's a Thanksgiving tradition. I gotta keep it going.
Yeah. Oh, interesting question. So a lot of we can get right into it. What did you guys eat? So for the people that don't know, Coach, how long have you been a vegan for?
I think since 2008. So yeah, like 12 years or so, something like that. Yeah, I mean, Thanksgiving, yeah, a lot of people like to do the replacement stuff. I'm not a big replacement kind of guy, like meat replacement stuff. I mean, it's definitely, the products have gotten better as of late, but you know, it's just a bunch of the sides, I guess. You know, we had potatoes, we had soup, you know, we had green beans, stuffing, whatever, all that stuff, you know, the desserts, there's pumpkin pie, apple pie, you know, there's vegan everything now. So really, if you need a turkey taste, I'm sure there's a decent product out there, but I'm not too big on the replacement products, but yeah.
Is everybody at your Thanksgiving also vegan?
No, I mean, we did it smaller this year too. I mean, my parents went to visit my sister. My parents are vegan, but the rest of my family, there's a few, but not too many. It's just my immediate family, me and my wife, my daughter. But I have a few, you know, but they all enjoy the vegan food too. So, you know, it's not everybody eats, you know, they'll just bring one meat dish or whatever, and we all eat together. It's all good.
Nice.
Yeah, that's the point of Thanksgiving, right? Getting together and breaking bread. Yo.
Definitely.
And your aunt, she still does remember your aunt used to do the vegan cantina? I used to get it from her all the time, man. Does she still do it?
She still does the cantina, yeah. My aunt and
my dad loves that stuff, yo. He's always eat the soup.
Yes, I remember. You were their biggest customer back then, you and your dad.
Yo, you know what's funny? I ordered from your aunt for like a year or 2 years, and I never seen her in person, bro. She just always delivered it like from between the hours of 10 and 12. I've never seen her in my life, dog.
That's funny.
She's like a mystery person. The food is always there.
Even before COVID, she was doing the contactless delivery. She's no, I'm just kidding. I don't know. Yeah, that's funny. She was ahead of her time, bro. She was ahead of her time.
Yeah, that's dope, man. So, yo, and you went through stages, right? Like you said, you started off as a kid vegetarian, then you kind of went on the dark side for a little bit through puberty, like high school and stuff like that, and then you ended up going back.
Yeah, my parents, you know, they went vegan probably, I don't know, probably like 25 or plus years ago, you know, so, you know, they educated us on it a bit and whatever, you know, and the main motivation was more like, you know, animal welfare and environmental welfare, and, you know, health obviously is important, but that was kind of like the last motivator. And yeah, I thought that it was a good idea back then. You know, I was probably 8 years old, so I went vegan for like a year, and then I got corrupted again by one of my older sister's boyfriends. you know, he was like, you don't eat meat. And, you know, he started, I was hanging out with him a lot. So he got me back on the dark side for a bit. And then, you know, I definitely ate, you know, that's how I learned how to cook, was on the barbecue. So I mean, I would throw down a lot of red meat, a lot of, you know, all kinds of meat, whatever. I didn't really discriminate until I think I turned 21, you know, and my brother, I found out, was going vegan, which he's not anymore, but at the time he was going vegan. And I was like, damn, you know, my brother's doing it. It's crazy. You know, like, I thought, okay, if he could do it, then I guess, you know, maybe I could give it a try. So I started reading the book that inspired him. And then, you know, I always thought I would get back to it, but I would always like push it, you know, maybe later in life, you know, I'll go back to it. And then, you know, I realized, why am I waiting? Why am I delaying the process? And got started, and it wasn't as hard as I thought. Yeah, I mean, I didn't do it cold turkey. Yeah, it was like pescatarian the first few months. Then I cut out the dairy. You know, cheese was the last thing to go. Pizza still, you know, holds a dear place in my heart, you know. Luckily, again, the pizza, you know, the products have gotten a lot better, because back when I first started, like, you know, pizzas and, you know, just things like that, the dairy cheeses and stuff were not so good. Again, that's not really health food, you know, that's just more stuff to indulge in sometimes. But we all, you know, we're not saints. We gotta enjoy the taste. So
Yeah.
get down with the fake cheese, the vegan cheese.
I heard vegan cheese is pretty good.
Yeah, it's gotten way better. That's what I'm saying. Like, when I first went vegan and I tried vegan cheese, I was like, screw this. I'd rather just not eat cheese. But now, like, you'd be surprised. There's some really good stuff out there, you know? Yeah.
Yeah, it's true, man. It's the products are tremendous, man. Like, it's super easy nowadays, you know, just sometimes if you want to go like, you cook everything at home. You're pretty good. I know I've had lunch with you guys plenty of times at home. You do a pretty good job of like very, very little substitutions, right? Like you mostly have like a whole food plant-based diet where like you're eating like a lot of like lentils, sweet potatoes, like real grains, right? Strong oats.
Yeah. Honestly, like, yeah, a lot of people talk about vegan diet being really expensive, but I think it's actually, it could be pretty damn cheap, you know, if you stick to the basics and the whole food. Yeah, you could definitely supplement things and get more expensive things, your superfoods and whatnot, but just the basics, you know, oatmeal for breakfast, you could jazz it up as much as you want, but just as simple as oatmeal will do the job, you know. Then lunch, some kind of grain like rice or quinoa or brown rice, whatever grain you want, with some legumes, you know, beans or lentils. A big salad. If you want some more protein, then usually I'll go for tofu or tempeh. And yeah, whatever, you know, I'll throw in some plantain in there maybe, or some sweet potato, if, you know, but yeah, pasta, potatoes, things like that, you know, which aren't really too expensive, you know, veggies, fruits, nuts, seeds. But yeah, it definitely helps if you're cooking, you know, if you're cooking at home. I feel it's a lot easier, even though things have improved and you could find good vegan fare outside, but typically it's a lot more expensive when you're buying it outside than making it yourself.
Can I ask you,
Yeah,
I mean,
awesome,
like,
man.
I know that you were just saying that you're not into the substitute of meats, but I do, like, whenever I do go to the supermarket and I see the substitutes for meats that are much more plant-based. I mean, like, in your experience, how many vegans do you know that they love meat, but obviously for whatever reason they choose to go vegan and they choose to use and eat a lot of those meat substitutes? Is that like the majority of vegans, or is that like actually how many of them?
You know, I can't speak for the vegan community. I'm not sure. You know, yeah, I definitely see it, like, you know, and I think sometimes, I mean, when you're transitioning, I think it's maybe better, you know, like, yeah, you might find it easier to use more substitutes and stuff like that, because I guess it's more similar to the diet you're used to. But yeah, I think that's where a lot of people, you know, fall short with the vegan diet is like, yeah, they just focus on only substitutes and they're not really getting the whole foods in, you know, which, yeah, you're not really getting the quality nutrition. And then you're like, oh, I went vegan 3 weeks and, you know, I'm feeling sick or I don't feel like I have energy. You know, if all you're eating is stuff that's processed, you know, that's why, you know, again, like, yes, I definitely advocate for a vegan diet, but, you know, I think most people, as long, you know, if you could just limit your meat intake, you know, there's a lot of people that have to have meat like at every single meal. And I think that's a little bit, you know, excessive. I think you'll do pretty well if, you know, you could just balance it out. You don't have to eat meat at every single day or every single meal. You know, I think you'll gain a lot of the health benefits, you know, as if going strictly vegan, you know. But
yeah, and hey, coach, you've competed at the highest level, both eating meat and competing, right? Like, has it helped you with your? Did you used to compete in a higher weight class when you were eating regular, and then because I think you were about a year in from when I met you.
Yeah, like I've been my heaviest ever, you know, at a vegan and non-vegan. Like the heaviest I could possibly get is like maybe pushing to 190, you know, and I've done that both before vegan, non-vegan. I mean, yeah, like it's just a matter, it's just intake and, you know, taking it in and burning it out. It's as simple as that, you know, for gaining and losing weight, you know? So yeah, I could gain weight on a vegan diet easily. You know, I just got to lower, can't train as much, you know, and eat more. And inversely, it's as simple as that. You know, if I want to lose the weight, you know, just eat a little cleaner, you know, like if I'm cutting weight or something like that, I'll just like avoid bread or something. You know, if I just take bread out of my diet, all of a sudden, you know, I'll lose like a few pounds just like that, you know, or whatever. But yeah, I mean, I think you could, you know, gain, you could be just as big on, I've seen, I mean, it's proven out there. There's a lot of huge, Germany's strongest man is a vegan. He's like this huge, you know, 300 plus dude. So I think all those things have been, you know, dispelled already. But yeah, athletically wise, you know, all my accomplishments really that have, you know, meant anything have been post, you know, when I turned vegan. You know, again, I'm not crediting it all to that. You know, I'm sure it's helped. The ways I think it helps more is just recovery wise. You know, I feel like I recover a little faster. You know, I have better energy than I normally did. Like when I used to eat a lot of meat, you know, I get more energy spikes. Like, yeah, I just want to nap and stuff during the day. Yeah, at the end of the day, bro, it's all mental, you know, you get it done. But yes, I think the vegan lifestyle is the best way to go, but you know, it could be done any which way. We're adaptable. Humans are very adaptable.
Yeah, I remember, we were listening I had to re-listen to the podcast, our last podcast, just to make sure I don't ask you the same questions again, you know, and I remember I think you were talking about how, like, I remember one time we went to a competition, you know, and I was going to get a steak, and I was like, yo, coach, can I get a steak before competition, or is that bad? Is red meat going to fuck me up or something? And you were like, yo, do whatever makes you happy.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
So I guess that's pretty much the key, right? Like, yo, like you stick to your routine,
I mean,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, people stick to your routine, stick to what you do normally, you know, like if you like to eat a steak, you know, and the next day you train good, you feel good, or you like to eat a steak at lunch and at nighttime you feel good, go for it, you know, like, yeah, that's what I find funny is like people eat a certain way always, and then like the week of their fight or like the few days before the fight, they're like, what should I eat? And then they start eating completely different, you know, and now you're not feeling, you know, as energetic or whatever. Yeah, just do what you normally would do. You know, that would be my best advice.
No, it's true. I've been thinking about that a lot, man. That was a good one. And then, hey, when you compete, do you do like what? You do a lot of yoga, like you do like when you warm up. Do you like to do like I know what you do about Morpheus. You can tell the people like how you like to warm up when you compete and stuff. Because I know like some guys do like real intense warm ups, pummeling, wrestling. Usually start with a nice little routine. You know, like where did you get that from? Like when you started doing yoga and like you do like your little yoga routine always before. You know, that's pretty rare that you don't see too much. You know.
Yeah, I think. I mean, what the yoga helps me do besides, warming you up and, stretching you out and whatnot, I think it helps you just get mentally present, and kind of like relax you and zone you in. Sometimes, if you're just waiting around listening to your headphones, those last few hours could get, pretty tiring and, you start thinking a lot. So yoga, it gives you something to do. It gives you a routine. I mean, whatever the routine is, it's good to have a routine just so you're used to it and you follow it. You're setting things up like you normally do, so you've been there before and you're like, oh yeah, okay. So this is, I go through this and then I'm ready to do what I got to do. But, again, mindset is number one, like I've had to drive, I remember I drove to Orlando one time, which is, about 4 hours from Miami, to compete. And literally, I drove 4 hours straight. I got to the gymnasium and they were calling my name. And I was like, oh, shit. I literally had to change my clothes really quick and step on the mat and compete, like right off of getting out of a 4-hour car ride. And, I did great. I won. It was actually probably my best performance ever. I had 9 matches that day, and I had 9 submissions. And that was the day I competed in absolute, like above 170 and absolute under 170, and they were doing them both at the same time. So I literally had have to finish one match, in the heavy division, and then jump to the light division. And that was all. There was no warm up. There was nothing. I was just drive there. Drive 4 hours, get out of the car, go compete, and it worked out. I didn't have time to think about it, I just had, which a lot of times I like it that way too. I don't like I like getting to the event like right before I have to go. I hate when I have to wait there all day, because that's it's exhausting mentally.
Yo, JP just did a jiu-jitsu tournament in Bangkok, coach.
Nice.
They all got to the arena at 8:30 in the morning. He competed once like at 4, and then he competed again like at 10:30.
No, I competed at 9:30 at night and then at 10:15 at night.
Oh my God. And you got there
What time
at
did you
8
get
in the
there?
morning?
8:30 in the morning.
Jesus, bro. Yeah. I know. I mean, I've been to some tournaments like coaching too, where you get there in the morning and same thing. You got there, like they're telling you, oh, you need to arrive at, at this time. And you're literally there all day long, it's exhausting, bro. Yeah.
Very.
I mean, the last ADCC trials, it was similar. You got there like, I think 9 in the morning. My last match was like at 10 p.m., so it was like all day. But it is what it is, bro. That's when it comes down to the mentality. Everyone I was talking to there was like just complaining about it, and I was like, it's not ideal, but whatever. If we got to be here all day, that's what it is.
Yeah, it's out of your control. The only thing you can control is how you prepare for it and how you mentally go into your matches. That's it.
Yeah, like you got to commit. Again, it's up to you, if it's like not worth it to you, then if it's 8:30, you've been there for 5 hours and you say you got to go home, I understand. But, if you've made the choice that you're going to follow through and do it, then you got to stick it out. Stick it out. See it through. That's good, man. Congrats for sticking it out, bro. That's good. A lot of people would have went home, A lot of people would have changed their minds.
Yo, coach, remember when Matt was going to compete against this guy that he got into a fight with, and they had a rematch in another grappling tournament, and the guy was about to leave, and then Matt, because he didn't want to wait no more, and then Matt stopped him.
Really?
And he made the match go because he wanted to run it back.
Matt got permission from the promoter to, get the fight going before it was scheduled, because My guy was ready to walk out. Yeah, good times, yo. With White Tyson.
Yo, JP knows Matt. He was in
Yeah.
Thailand with us. He came to the crib last year with us.
I used to live with the guy, and before that, I met him actually on the mats. He was a DJ at the barbecue beatdown, the monthly like party that we have at Tiger. But I met him on the mats, and I was like, this guy's crazy because he just goes balls to the wall every time, and you know. But over time, you get to know that's just how he is. You just got to roll with the punches. It's just at the end of the day, it's all love. It's funny. But
Sounds like Matt, yeah. Yeah. I just remember one, I think it was Grappler's Quest or something, where he like submitted 3 guys like back to back, and he choked one of them out with like a scissor choke. He choked them unconscious. He put him to sleep. He got up. He was like, "Yo, he's out. He's out." Like,
he's a character, man. I love that guy.
Yes. And then he would get mad at me for kicking him in the head, like while we sparred, when he would. You know, he'd be fucking throwing like hooks that if they connected, you know, they're gonna hurt. You know? This guy he was wild, but yeah, I love Matt. Good guy.
Yeah. He means well. It's fucking funny.
Yeah, we've had a lot of fights in the gym. We go at it, JP. Like sometimes the bell would ring, we start hitting each other after and shit. Coach would have to like separate us.
I could definitely believe that.
Hey, with all the competitions and everything, do you ever see yourself in a time? Because, like, yo, the one thing I know that this is one of the, like, why I've really been picking your brain about is, like, you're an avid competitor. Like, what's the longest time you've ever gone not competing? Probably now, huh? With COVID and everything?
Probably now, bro. Yeah, I started out the year. I did a couple competitions. Bro, yeah, I was supposed to compete, you know, in March, I think it was, and that's when they shut everything down and they stopped the event from happening. And yeah, I think my last tournament was in February, so that's been probably the longest stretch. I might have had one of those stretches earlier on too. I mean, before I was really doing like pro events and stuff like that. But yeah, it's been a pretty long stretch, but yeah, it's all good. You know, work on what you got to work on.
Yeah, definitely. And do you ever see a time when you won't compete, or do you see yourself competing for as long as you can and you're able, like no matter what? Like I feel like.
Yeah, I mean, if I don't find the fun in it anymore, you know, or my body doesn't allow me to, but you know, that's my main reason for doing it is the fun, you know, the enjoyment, the fulfillment of doing it. I mean, I see myself practicing martial arts for my whole life, so you know, we'll see, man. I'm very competitive, so I don't like to, you know, I wouldn't want to do like masters divisions and stuff like that. So once I get old enough where the young guys are kicking my ass, I don't know, and I might change my mind.
I got you.
But you know, yeah, I think it's pretty cool though, all the, you know, the master level fights, you know, these guys fighting at 50, 60 plus and all that. I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, because I just think about, man, you've been on the grappling scene for a long time, and there's not many competitions in Miami that there's a competition, you're doing it, right? There's no, like, you know, like, no matter the size, I feel like, you know, that's one of the kind of like inspirations that we got from you coming up, is that you were in all the matches. Like, we were competing in the porn convention, you know? You know what I'm saying? Like, so anytime they had a match, you were down for it, you know? So that's kind of like, that was good motivation coming up as a blue belt, white belt, you know what I mean? For all the crew too, I know for sure.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I enjoy it, man. You know, now it's like, whatever, you know, it's got to be worth my while, I guess, you know. Like, I do it, yes, for the love, but now opportunities have grown. You know, there's a lot of opportunities now for, you know, professional grappling and whatnot. So unless I just haven't competed, or if I'm doing, maybe it's an event that I know the people behind it and I want to support them or whatever, but for the most part, you know, I'm aiming at stuff that's going to be, you know, it's either going to better my career, you know, it's going to be a match, you know, 'cause yeah, I don't gain anything from going to the local Naga and winning the advanced division, you know, like if anything, I'm risking myself because, yeah, you got all these guys that they wanna take out a veteran or whatever, So yeah, in that sense, I've become a little bit more picky just because the opportunities are better now. So I'm looking to do pro events and stuff like that. Things that are, I'll do the trials if I can't secure an invite to ADCC. I'll definitely do the trials again. But local tournaments, that's more in a coaching role now. Not to say if I see there's a big name or something signs up and there's an opportunity to grapple them or compete with them, then that might change things.
Yeah, dope. Hey, when I was in Miami, you competed for Burt Watson for real, bro. Remember?
Yeah.
Oh, snap! You competed against Danny Chavez, yo. AJP. He went against Danny Chavez in a match when we were in Miami, dog. I forgot to tell you, yo. We had Danny on the podcast too.
Yeah, I saw that. That's awesome.
Hey, they fought in the. Hey, how was it? Hey, how was it? Was that the first time you grappled in an MMA match in the cage like that?
Yeah, I've grappled in rings before, but never in a cage. I mean, not since I fought MMA have I been in a cage. So, yeah, it was pretty funny. I remember just looking at the canvas floor, seeing like blood and dirt and stuff, and I was like, "Damn, good thing I'm wearing my rash guard right now, bro. I don't want to roll around and all this." I'm thinking about all this stuff right before competing. But yeah, it was cool, man. I got to see Burt Watson a few times cornering in the UFC, and I just, that was, I think, out of everybody in the company, he was like the most loved guy. I guess I don't know the whole backstory about why he got released and whatnot, but yeah, that was cool, man. I got the opportunity to compete for them, and then they kept changing my opponent. And then Danny called me out of nowhere, Danny Chavez, and he was like, "Yo, my manager's asking me if I want to compete against you in grappling." He's like, whatever. Again, yeah, we're really good friends. He was my student at one point. I've known Danny his whole career and before he even got started. But yeah, I was like, dude, it's all good, and there's nothing personal. It's grappling anyway. It's not like we're fighting each other and stuff. So it was a good opportunity for both of us. So I said, sure, why not?
Yo, yeah, man. Hey, a lot of people don't know that you came up kind of like an MMA background, right? More or less, like at FFA and stuff like this.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
You started out like you were doing. You came up with a lot of people. People probably be surprised with how many big names you've worked with just as when you were a lot younger, right? Like you had a lot of big names now, a lot of big name now UFC guys. Like you used to train with. You saw the entry of Kimbo, right, into the game. Because that's why I went to the gym that's why I went to our old gym, because of Kimbo.
Yes, Kimbo. We were teaching Kimbo his first grappling lessons out there, and we were supposed to corner him for his fight, and then like a week or two before his debut, like his manager pulled a whole 360 on us and said that, I guess they got contacted by Boss Rutan. And I don't know, he decided to switch over to Boss and start. But yeah, we got to train with Kimbo. We probably trained with him 4 or 5 months, something like that. Where Kimbo was in the classes and rolling with everybody in the class. It was pretty hilarious.
Yo, you rolled with Kimbo, dog? Did you choke Kimbo out?
Yeah, bro. Nothing. The guy was an athletic beast, but he was definitely a white belt in jiu-jitsu, the students were handling him on the ground, as long as they had, some decent skill set, they were handling him on the ground.
Yeah,
I remember Alexis Vida, who's 5'4", maybe something like that, 135, 140 pounds. I just remember him wrestling with Kimbo and just taking him down over and over. And Kimbo just being like, I can't grab this little guy, and just being this little dude was just freaking mopping the floor with him. But yeah, man, those were fun. He was super nice guy. You know, he was, yeah, he looks intimidating, but he was really cool and super nice with everybody. Yeah, I mean, we were a little fanboyed out too. You know, that was like the first like YouTube star. I remember like my cousin coming to the gym to want to get pictures with him and stuff. And, yeah, he was always really cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, Kimbo.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I mean, that's how Masvidal got into the bare knuckle fights back then too. You know, through the Kimbo connection.
Because you guys used to train together with him, right? You were training with Masvidal at the same time as with Kimbo, and that's when everybody was there together, huh?
Yeah, well, Masvidal had started with us, you know, for a while already. He had been there before Kimbo, and then, you know, he had a background in boxing, and he was starting to do, I think, like kickboxing fights, and then whatever, you know, he got those offers from. I'm sure he was getting paid better, you know, for those backyard fights at the time than he was for, you know, doing a kickboxing show. So. But yeah, there's a bunch of talent that came from there. I mean, sadly, you know, if everything would have stayed together, that could have been a super team, you know. But politics and whatnot and everything kind of drew everyone out of there, you know. They don't have too many.
It's crazy, man. Yo, and you know who? Sorry,
I lost. I didn't hear that. Go ahead.
Oh, no, I didn't hear what you said either. I was waiting for you to go. You said not too many or something?
Oh, they don't have too many remaining out in FFA now. I mean, there's only a few that, I mean, original OGs, I don't think there's any. Or maybe one or two, you know, I don't know.
Yo, you know who cornered me once in China? Mad random, dog. I think I already told you the story. Giovanni Moho, dog. Remember Giovanni?
Yeah. I remember Gio.
Giovanni was randomly... Yo, of course you remember Gio. Yo, Gio was like randomly living in China, like fighting every week or something crazy.
Giovanni Mojo.
He was living with this guy.
Yes.
Mojo, yo.
He's gotten me in trouble.
Yo, he cornered me in my fight. He got me through a really hard fight, dog. Like, I went over there by myself. It was like a real short notice fight. I was just kind of like, it was like some good money though. So I went to China, and then he met me over. He was just happened to be like, he happened to be working for the guy that got me the fight, yo. So he came in and cornered me. He came down for the day of my fight, and he cornered me and shit, and he stunk. It was funny. I was like, yo, why you stink right now? But it was all good, yo. Yo, that was crazy, man.
Sounds like Gio.
And then Pablo Alfonso's, yeah. But, man, it was a super hard fight, and he got me through it, man. Like, he kind of cornered me through the second round. Like, I was, like, real short notice. I did good the first round. Second round, he was like, yo, just relax. Told me, like, take it off. And then we came back hard. It was dope, yo. But
nice.
It's funny. Everybody's kind of connected, you know?
Yeah. Gio's.
Yo, do you ever see yourself? So how many times have you fought MMA, Coach?
5 times. 5 times.
5 times? And do you ever see yourself going, do you have any specific reason why you fell out of it? Do you see more opportunity in jiu-jitsu, or do you have any specific reason for not fighting anymore?
You know, I enjoy it, bro. I enjoy the art part and stuff. I don't know. I have the killer instinct. I just feel bad, like, you know, knocking people's lights out and, you know, like pounding on people and stuff like that. I kind of have that in the back of my mind somewhere. You know, yeah, I feel bad because now I feel at this point, you know, like back when I was actually fighting, like I had no experience. I didn't really, you know, I had grappling experience and whatever. I came from a Tae Kwon Do background, but, you know, I was very uncomfortable, you know, in there, which now I feel a lot more comfortable, you know, now that I'm not fighting and stuff. But I've trained with a lot of guys that fight a lot, and yeah, UFC fighters and guys that have fought at, you know, at high levels. And, you know, yeah, if the money, that's the problem, man, is doing the work. You know, it's you got to start from the bottom, you know. If I got a big opportunity and they guaranteed a, you know, a good enough amount of money, then I would definitely consider it, you know. Yeah, like if I went to, you know, in the UFC and they're like, oh, damn, we need a fight filled out, you know, now, and the price was right and I was healthy, I would definitely consider doing it, but to start from the beginning now and try to grind my way up there, I think I missed my chance.
Yo, I'll holler at Chachi right now, dog. And I'll be like, yo, Chachi, my coach said he'll fuck Gary Tonin up. Gary Tonin just won this weekend, dog. I think you'd smash this guy, bro. You guys are like pretty even in the grappling. Bro, he's going to get a title shot now in my division, yo.
I know,
People don't even know, dog. Yo, JP, these guys are lucky Cocco doesn't want to fight. I'm telling you, bro. This guy fucks everybody up, dog. Hey, you know what I was going to ask you? I want to ask you one thing real quick. Because I remember you used to teach us Tae Kwon Do and MMA class. Remember we used to do the kicks before class and the warm-ups for the MMA class, man?
Yeah.
Yo, I used to JP, back in the day, nobody was throwing karate kicks, dog. I was like, man, we just need to learn how to wrestle and box, and I never wanted to do those kicks. Now I kick myself in the ass for not doing that now because it's become like it's really developed into the game. Nice, you know what I mean? If I would have been doing it since then, I would have been 10 years spinning wheel kicking and shit, Damn. Should have listened to Cocco a long time ago. That's what I was thinking when I see that nowadays.
It's all good.
Hey, is there anything you wish? Is there anything training-wise that you wish you would have done a little bit different that you knew better then now? Obviously, maybe for me, that's an example. Like, I wish I would have done more like Taekwondo style moves that you were showing us back then. I feel like you were a little bit ahead of your time. Is there anything that you look back on now that you wish you would have done a little bit more of? That you see now in your competition?
Well, I mean, yeah, sure. You could go ideally, if I would have, started out like doing a more serious kind of strength training regimen since earlier in life, or gymnastics training and weight training since a young age, I think that could definitely translate to your, athletic abilities, which is big.
Okay.
But
that's good, yo. That's just because if we missed the ball for us, because I'm in my 30s, dog, but for our kids, we know how to make them super, we can make super good.
Yeah, definitely.
We know how to train them perfect.
Start them off young,
Gymnastics.
Yeah.
Basketball.
I mean,
I think Taekwondo is super for I think it's been big for you, like in the jiu-jitsu, like your dexterity from Taekwondo, like your hand coordination is ridiculous.
My flexibility definitely came from the Taekwondo training, flexibility, footwork, dexterity, all that stuff is big in Taekwondo. You got to be able to use your legs very well. And in jiu-jitsu, you got to know how to use your lower body just as good as your upper body, So I think, I feel it's easier for strikers to adapt to grappling than grapplers to adapt to striking. At least in my experience, I felt like it's been harder to get guys that are pure grapplers or wrestlers to start learning how to strike good than get strike. I mean, you see it all the time, sure, but, I feel it's easier to get good strikers to learn how to grapple, or at least get defensive enough where they could avoid the grappling exchanges in MMA a little easier.
Man, coach, the next champ in the UFC, mark my words, there's two that could be, but my buddy Brad Riddell, lightweight fighter, we just
Brad Quake Riddell. He's the real deal.
He's been a kickboxer. He's been a kickboxer since for real young, and he fell in love with the wrestling and grind of grappling, and he's only been grappling for about JP, 3 or 4 years?
Yeah, not long.
But he's already impossible to, after a year or two, once they learn how to get up, it's and they learn how to be people, you can become impossible to submit pretty quick, you can, but to actually apply the submission takes levels, right? Because fuck, man, that's true, man. It's very true.
His
striking,
his system of just leg locks is one of those things that's pretty hard for someone just starting out grappling later on in life to kind of wrap their head around, and he's taken to it so well. It's crazy how much he's just developed in the grappling. And man, that guy's definitely the next champ.
Nice.
Yeah, that's true. So what do you think that is with the grappling, right? There's something, but you notice now that for a while, like jiu-jitsu was like the number one thing in MMA, and then guys got keen to it. But if you see now, some of the masters like Ryan Hall, Gary Tonon, these guys are doing like, these guys are kind of like dominating with the grappling now. So I feel like grappling's kind of making a comeback. But the guys that have been doing it, they're like super masters. You're talking about 15 years of like training, you know? Probably.
Right. Yeah, but they're putting in the work though. They're putting in the work on the other end too. You know, they're learning how to strike, at least to translate it into their game. You know, which is not like they're just solely trying to take you down the whole time. You know, they're doing a good job of mixing it up. But yeah, it's cool. It's cool to see how the trends go. You know, started jiu-jitsu was the major force, then kind of wrestling, and so now striking. It looks like, too. I mean, you got guys like Style Bender and whatnot, and he's a blue belt in jiu-jitsu. That he's the champ. Yeah, I can't tell you. I don't know. But
No, it's true though. But yeah, man, that's awesome. Yo, so if the money's right, you definitely take your shot back. I like that. I like the sounds of that, dog. Hell yeah, money talks, baby. We gotta get those dollar signs going. We gotta get into our management skills, JP. See who wants to test Coco. Have you ever done combat? Have you ever done the combat jiu-jitsu, coach?
No, I mean, I've played around doing it in training, but never a competition. No. And again, like that, again, might as well do MMA, but whatever. If it's a good opportunity, again, sure, I would do it, but it's not.
I would hate to go against somebody like you and just get stuck in mountains, just get slapped to death. That sucks. Like, stop slapping me! It's crazy. Yeah, you can generate some serious power, dog.
Yeah. You gotta.
All right, let's damn. So we've been going good, man. Hey, coach. On a coaching note, real quick. Here's a few things I want to ask you on coaching, and then we'll let you go, man. What is there any, to kind of change the gears a little bit? What recommend? Like, what would you show somebody? So I get like a lot of beginners, right? Like, or beginner students, or like sometimes people like in their first week or two or first month. What is like one of the first moves or like systems you would like to show a beginner, like have a beginner work on to get them to understand jiu-jitsu? Like, do you have anything specific that you like to go to when somebody's like, yo, I don't know what I'm doing? Do you show them like side mount, show them guard, and anything specific that you show, and why?
Yeah, I've been, over the years, again, I don't know if a perfect system exists or not, but, yeah, things like the basics, hip escaping, and then, teach them why you hip escape, not just doing it on the mat and stuff, but, technical stand-ups, how to get up properly with not giving up your back and whatnot. And then, yeah, just start.
How about for moves wise? Like what would you show them as a move? Like what would be like the first move you show them? You show them a pass or a submission, you think? What do you reckon?
Usually
I guess either one could be.
Yeah, usually we start in the close guard, just because when you're first beginning, it's hard to understand open guard, there's no, everything is open. It's a lot more dynamic. There's not in a closed guard, okay, I got my legs locked up around this guy. I could hold them. I could hold on to that. It's a little bit easier to understand, as like controlling someone with a butterfly guard when they're moving around you and doing all that stuff, it could be a little trickier. So usually I'll start with the closed guard, and start with just learning posture on top, being able to keep your position, your hand fighting, being able to keep your posture, keep your head position, and bottom, showing how to break posture, how to break the posture, your different clinches, your overhooks, underhooks, head controls. And then from there, yeah, you could go on to like, you know, a basic guard pass, you know, usually, you know, honestly, I've changed up the way I've taught too. Cause you know, usually now, like I'll show like, you know, the first guard pass I teach is standing up, you know, coming up to pass, you know, close guard, because realistically it's pretty hard to open the close guard on your knees. You know, a lot of times it's tricky against someone that's good. And then bottom, you know, just I would say a little balance, you know, kind of give them a little overview, you know, yeah, learn the posture on top, learn how to break posture on bottom, you know, learn one guard pass, maybe learn one sweep or one reversal, and then build from there. You know, you learn the guard pass, okay, now let's learn how to recover back to the guard, you know. You learn the sweep, you know, let's learn eventually, okay, if I sweep the person to mount, okay, how can I finish them from the mount, you know, and you build off of that, you know. It's tricky, man. Yeah, there's no perfect science. You know? The main thing is time accumulation. You know, and you gotta, if you really want to learn, you have to eventually grapple, and it's good when you have a good coach and you got, you know, that's watching and trying to help people, you know, when they're first starting, because yeah, that could be overwhelming when you see all the moves and stuff, but then, you know, to actually put it together in live time is completely different. So, you know, but yeah,
it takes a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot, and whatever. There's no perfect method, and you know, time is you can't fake the time. You know, it's gonna take time. You know, sure, you can accelerate the time, you know, to get there. But at the end of the day, those guys that get really good, you know, quickly, they're not just they're training multiple, you know, they're training as much as possible. You know, they're getting it in that mat time as much as you can, you know.
Yeah, I think we touched on this before. And where do you feel like the most gains are in live rolling? Probably, I would assume, right? I feel like we talked about. I forgot. I feel like
yeah, we touched on that last time.
I was asking you about that, but like, I know you need the good drilling, but like, there's nothing like live rolling and like seeing it, right? I feel like probably for sure, you know, for simulation wise, you know.
Yeah, you could have all the theory in the world, you know, but when there's no application of it, you know, when it comes time to actually do it, and you know, it's going to be hard. Yeah. And there's all those little, gray areas and stuff, you know, where like, yeah, it's not just this technique, that technique, this technique, that technique, you know, it's, you know, yeah, being able to manage distance, you know, from your feet, you know, when you get on the ground, just little things, you know, where to keep your arms, you know, where to position your head, you know. I wish I had a better answer for you, bro.
No, that's all right. I feel you. You know, I'm always trying to. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's why I like doing the podcast, just like sussing it out with people. You know, like, because I'm always, when I'm teaching and stuff, I'm always trying to think same thing. Like, I'm always trying to think what's the best way to pass this information, or like to get the guys good at something.
What I think is like, good is like stay on a theme, you know, for a bit. You know, try to iron out that theme before moving on to the next theme, you know, which a lot of times that happens, you know, or you got to learn how to disguise repetition too, you know, like that's why we do the warm-ups and stuff, where we do the fundamental movements, you know, because you're getting those reps in, but you're not really, you know, paying attention as, you know, as much. It's not as repetitive, but you know, you got to find ways to disguise that repetition in there, you know, so it doesn't get too boring. But at the end of the day, that's what it takes, you know, a lot of repetitions, you know, a lot of
that's what it is. It's the same thing over and over again. I usually tell my students it takes about 3 months till you start to understand the language, you know, like in the beginning it's like learning the words, you know, like separately, and then you can start to say sentences. And once you can like write a paragraph, that's like rolling in around and like being able to get swept and recover and sweep back or something, you know. I usually tell people like, yo, give it 3 months. I was like, you got to be consistent. It's hard, But once you get it and you get a taste, it flicks, and all of a sudden you know how to hip escape, you know how to shoulder roll, and you don't even know how you do it, right? It's weird, but it just flicks one day to the other. For me, at least, you know?
It's a good analogy, yeah. Yeah.
Like but yo, and I learned that a lot from you. I remember one time I was trying, I was like, yo, coach, I want to get my butterfly good, because I know you had a nasty butterfly guard, and I was kind of stuck on another guard, and I was like, I want to get my butterfly good. And I remember you gave me an assignment once. You were like, yo, stay on your butt you start from butterfly guard for the rest of the month.
Right.
So, and ever since I did that shit changed my game. The first 2 weeks, it was terrible. I get passed all the time from butterfly. But then after like a week, I was like, oh shit, because I just got used to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's all it takes, man. I mean, you want to get better off your back, you got to put yourself there. That's the problem. Like, you know, you get comfortable in what you start to get good at quick, and then you just want to do that all the time, and then another area gets neglected. So, yeah, it's good. I mean, you need to build the base, but you need to work on those holes for sure. What's up? You got something there?
Yeah. I gotta. Oh man. Okay, now finally, the last. All right. So what do you reckon, dog? Like, all right, my Kimura game, right? Sometimes, my shit's the same, dog. I got the same game, but it's a lot better. It's like 4 years. It's like 10 years strong. But it's the same game for like 10 years now. You know what I'm saying? And I always wonder, do I like just become a specialist and just get more nasty with it? Or do I gotta open up the game and I feel like teaching wise, I try to open up and know everything. Mm-hmm. But that's been like the one I've been dabbling with now lately, like trying to equalize the stuff that I'm good at in my game. And then also keeping everything good, because then I get exposed sometimes and I realize, damn, I get my back taken and I'm not there a lot. You know what I mean? I'll see where I get exposed, or my guard gets passed and I'm like, damn, people who are good guard passers I haven't been rolling with that much, you know?
Right. Yeah, definitely, man. That that's, we get caught in those things that we get good at. So, you gotta look at everything, that was a big hole of mine for a while too. I mean, I would get most of my losses have come from getting my back taken and getting choked, so I try to work a lot on that, in which I have. Now it's a lot harder to get my back taken, and if I do get there, I feel comfortable, so yeah, it's good to, you got to work with people that are better than you. You got to work with people that are your level, and you got to work with people that are, lower than you too. So you get a chance, against those better guys to work, the defense more, and against the lower level guys, you could work, the target practice, the things that you want to, your offenses you want, or even your defense, that there's a better chance for you to survive. So you give up better positions and work on it. And, or stringing attacks together. Like if you're going against somebody, you can handle, yeah, sure. If I get them right away, I could finish that first submission, or I could think, okay, I got him here. Let me loosen it up, let him get out of here, and let's see how I could trap him in the next thing, or get him with the next setup, So I'll try to do those things a lot. And, against guys that are better than you, you just got to try to survive. Obviously, that's your main goal, And then those guys that are same level, it's going to be a competition. It's going to be close. But then, when you get the guys that are a little lower level than you, and then you get to practice other parts of your game that you normally wouldn't practice as much. So I think it's good to work with all different levels.
Definitely.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's good to be the hammer and the nail, right? Like, it's to split your rounds, practicing the moves you're good at. I'll get somebody and you can work on a game, So that's one of the things I've been trying to do now. That's funny you say that. Yeah, man, you realize that's one of the good things about competing. You can see the competing keeps you honest, keeps you to know where you're at. So
yeah.
Oh, do you feel as a coach, because you've been coaching for as long as you've been competing, huh? Do you feel as a coach that a coach needs to compete, or do you feel like it's up to them? You know, like that's a personal thing. Like, what's your view on
Yeah,
competition for your students?
I don't think so. I mean, yeah, there's been plenty of good coaches that are not good competitors. I mean, and you see it all the time. You see
It's true.
great competitors that can't coach, you know? So, it's all depends. I've seen both. So I'm a rare breed that could do both, you know?
That's true.
Yeah, a lot of times, most of the time, a lot more of the times you see the guys that are really good that can't coach good at all, you know, and the opposite way. Usually the good coaches are the ones that couldn't actually make it playing the sport, you know. So
yeah,
you know, it depends.
Damn, I'm a pretty good coach, dog. I think that's gonna be me. Fuck.
Oh yeah, I mean, there are
a coach
guys
down
that
fighter, but for sure, I think I'm gonna be. Damn, bro, it's all right. I did my shit.
Nah, there's definitely people that could do both, you know, and I pride myself. I think I could do both, you know. Yeah.
What do you love more? What do you love more, coaching or competing? Because coaching's amazing, dog. That's one thing I really learned. Coaching is like a new gift, right?
It feels a lot more satisfying. I feel like one of your students accomplishes something, you know, for themselves. Like you feel like you accomplish more than you doing it yourself. I don't know. At least for me, you know, I've had some wins that, they feel good and stuff, but like, I get like a lot more emotional when I'm coaching other people and seeing that their success, you know, it touches me more than myself. I'm kind of like a robot when I compete. Not, you know, like, I'm just kind of looking at myself in the third person and not really attached to it that much, you know, as to when you've been training somebody and you don't know what's going to happen, you know. I feel like, it has more satisfaction seeing their success.
You know, and you've seen you've seen it in the UFC and the grappling tournaments. That's awesome, man. That's true. That's great. And how did you get the name Zen Jiu-Jitsu? Is there any story behind that? I mean, I think it's very similar to your personality, you know, or is it just
I mean, my parents' Tae Kwon Do system, their grandmaster, he created his own system, which was called Zen Mukwan, which in Taekwondo, like, there was the World Taekwondo Federation and the International Taekwondo Federation. They were like the two main ones. And our grandmaster, he was the vice president at one point of the International Taekwondo Federation, but he wanted to do his own thing. He decided, so he created Zen Mukwan, and, you know, it has a big emphasis on, you know, meditating and, you know, being the idea of cultivating, Zen, being, you know, your mind and body being together, you know, harmonious. You know, a lot of times we're doing things and we're not really present or whatever. So it was kind of like a tribute to my parents, but, you know, at the same time too, people always tell me, I'm very calm and relaxed, and I think that it fit well, you know, the Zen state. I feel like always I've done better competitively too, you know, even whatever training wise, when I'm not so emotionally wound up. I mean, everybody does better their own way, you know, but I feel like I do better when I'm just more even keel, you know, is in the moment. And sometimes when I'm really excited or overhyped about something, and then I go in there and I have all this energy, and then like a few minutes later I'm like, oh my God, I'm so tired, you know. Then as if I'm just, you know, present in the moment. It's a good balance. You don't want to be too calm where you're not, you know, nothing matters, but you don't want to be like, so, oh my God, you know, like this, we have to get this done, you know. Just like to be in a nice, even Zen state, you know. But we are all human, obviously, and those emotions get the best of us all the time.
Yo, that's why I picked you as my coach when I first started out, man, because you were like, yo, You're the complete opposite of me, dog. So I was like, that's why I think you attract all the savages, bro. Me, John Chavez, Mike Tyson.
Yeah. And the thing
Oh,
is
but I
that
feel like you attract like, man, like that's one of the reasons why I always chose you. You know, like you had that peace, that good soul. You know, that like that Zen spirit that I've always wanted to like keep as a martial artist. You know.
yeah, I mean, I'm calm, but I love, hard training, and I love the grind, and I'll show my students know, I lead by example. I'm not gonna put them through anything that I wouldn't do myself. So I think that, yeah, even though I am pretty calm, guys can relate to that. I'm a grinder too. Like I enjoy this, I enjoy the hard work, and I don't think there's any way around working hard. That's number
You're always
one.
in the trenches. You're always in the trenches with the students, and then when you prepare for Abu Dhabi, I remember you would line up the whole class, and you would roll with everybody until the finish, and that takes a lot, like there's not many coaches that I've seen do that, man, like expose themselves and like be completely vulnerable with their students. But
yeah, even when I go
all
to
those times
train,
to do that,
yeah, for sure, man. Like when I go to train at fight sports and stuff like that, obviously I could like try to pick my rounds and cherry pick, and but I'm trying to make the most out of my time, I'm trying to get the most out of it. So yeah, if I get my ass kicked because I went with the 6 or 7 best guys back to back to back, yeah, that's fine. That's training. That's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to get your ass kicked in training. So, yeah, when you go out there, you've been through it, nothing's going to phase you. So, that's kind of the mentality behind it. But go ahead.
Oh, that's awesome, man. Hell yeah. And like, all right, so man, we've had you already for a while. Thank you so much, Coach. All right, last one, man. This will be a good sum up for any. You've been a coach. You have a whole team of students. Everybody is in jiu-jitsu and a bunch of people that train under you. What advice would you give for any upcoming, we'll stick to grapplers. It could be any athlete, because I know you've been an athlete your whole life, competitive athlete, but for grapplers, because, for jiu-jitsu wise, let's say, what advice would you give for any up and coming grapplers for their future? Like that you want to give to them, that maybe like a little piece that somebody gave to you that was always worked for you, for competition, for training, food, anything you want.
Yeah, it's a broad one. Let's see.
Yeah, a little piece of cocoa, dog. Like, well, like anything, training.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, just try to believe in yourself and what your coaches are telling you. Again, that's number one. Don't get distracted. Right now we live in a world where information is at our fingertips, and there's so much, not to say that other information is wrong or bad, but, a lot of times that can distract you from what you're doing, so just focus on what you're doing, believe in, what your coaches are telling you, not to say you can't learn from outside sources, but for competing as well and stuff, a lot of times we focus too much on the other guy and we don't focus so much on what we're going to do. So that would be number one. Just don't worry about the competition. Don't worry about the other competitors. Just worry about yourself. Like, I never look at a bracket. If I'm in a big tournament and stuff, I don't study the bracket. I know, I'm considering myself the top seed. So whoever I face, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how it's stacked up. I'm going there to win. So, yeah, just believe in what you're doing. Don't get distracted by what everyone else is doing. That's about it.
Yo, that's a great one. I love that one, man. That's the same theory from before too.
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah, man.
Just,
anything else you want to hit up Master Cocco with, JP? I feel like,
Well, there was one thing I wanted to ask you, was if there's any difference between the mental preparation for ADCC versus maybe like a main event singles match that you've been invited to, or maybe like other competitions outside of ADCC that may or may not be like just as prestigious, but equally as intense.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you got to try to make it all the same, I feel, you know, like if you could do that, I think you'll get your best performance. You know, sometimes because it means more, that might mean more to you, you know, than whatever. But I think, you got to just try to be completely in it no matter what. If you're going out to do it, you know, whether it's ADCC or whether it's the local tournament, you know, you got to have the same, the same mentality towards it. You know, it shouldn't just be like, oh, well, this doesn't matter because this is this. You know, it should be whether there's no one watching or there's a million people watching, you're going to give your same effort forward. You know, I feel like the best guys are the ones that are able to do that, you know, no matter what. Like they're able to give their best at any given time, you know. A true fighter.
Sure.
Right.
Yeah, across all disciplines, you know. Hell yeah, man. Yo, you about to go train, huh? Yo, that was awesome. Thank you so much, Coach.
Yeah, thank you.
Yo, we'll close with that. Hey, so where can the people find you, man? You have where can the people find you? Do you have a social media handle or anything where people can find you if they want to get to train with Cocco or they want to contact you or anything?
Yeah, sure, bro. You can look up Enrico Cocco, BJJ on the IG. I'm trying to get better, man. Yeah, we'll see. Maybe 2021's my year to start marketing myself and getting on the social media move. But yeah, you can hit me up there soon. 2021, big things happening soon. Zen Jiu-Jitsu will have a new location, and I'll be updating everybody shortly on that. So looking forward to big things happening.
Nice.
And as soon as we get these vaccines, you come do a seminar in Bangkok and come visit us, Cocco. We'll sort you out with the whole Asian tour, yo. We'll make sure there's vegan restaurants at every stop, and we'll have gyms. I'll have gyms set up across the whole region, dog. You can do like a 2-week Cocco does Asia tour, dog. We'll have it all lined up for you. You won't have to worry about nothing, you know. Just
dope,
people
bro.
out and collect some. Yeah, man.
Thai food, the best food in the world. Best food in the world here.
For sure.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds good, bro.
Damn. Yo, you've been to Thai. Yo, we didn't even get to touch on that. That's a whole nother thing. Yo, Coach, you've been to Tiger. Did we talk about Tiger Muay Thai in the last one?
I don't think we did, man. But
fuck, that's crazy. Yo, your videos, watching you guys train. When I first signed up to the gym in 2009, everybody you were in Thailand. I didn't even meet you for like the first month because like everybody was away in their trip in Thailand. And I remember that's how I got the Thailand thing installed in my head. I saw the whole team making video blogs. You were out there kicking pads. So
yeah.
All right, yo. But we've been running a long time. Yo, thank you so much for coming on the podcast, Cocco. We really appreciate it.
It's my pleasure, man. We'll do it again whenever, bro. Yeah. Definitely.
Yo, this was a great chat. I could talk to you all day, man. So this was cool, man. I haven't talked to you for a while. I got to tell you about all the shit going on in Bangkok too, dog.
For sure.
All right, for sure.
Awesome, brother.
Yo, Big D, still a big hug, right? Tell the family I said hello. Miss you guys.
Take care.
Miss you too, man.
Everybody.
Nice talking to you.